Hello, what's up? It's Richard here. Welcome back to another episode of my podcast. I've realised over the past couple of weeks that I speak to my existing audience in this podcast a lot in terms of the actual content that I make. There's probably loads of people, not loads, because this podcast doesn't get like a massive amount of views. Other content gets a lot more, but I've realised that I'm kind of neglecting the people who maybe this is your first exposure to me and you don't know all too much about me, because I really don't have any content there that's like tells my story as such. So as a top level overview, that's not what today's podcast is about. It's about something totally different. But as a top level overview, I'm an entrepreneur in Scotland. I have done some really good stuff in business. I've done some really not so good stuff in business, which have accumulated into 6 or so years of reasonable success and a lot of great lessons. And all I'm trying to do is impart little bits of learning that I've had from that. I would hate to say wisdom because I don't think I'm that wise, but little bits of learning from that I've gained over the last few years. Not just in my life as an entrepreneur in business, but my life as an entrepreneur in relationships and family, and just existing in the world. I've had a mad busy life, to be totally honest, and I'm also going to turn this fan on because I think I'm going to pass away. It's absolutely roasting. If you're listening to this will make absolutely no sense to you, but it's going to cool me down quite nice and hopefully not too loud either. But yeah, the point I'm making there is I've had a very busy life. I feel like I've lived like 4 or 5 lifetimes, and that's what this podcast is all about. It's just to try and give you some of the lessons, the mistakes that I've made, so you don't need to make them in business, in life, because trust me, I've made plenty of mistakes, some chronic mistakes, and I'm still here to tell the tale and still getting on. So if I can make those mistakes on your behalf, great, double benefit for everyone. Now today I'm going to talk about the concept of income, right? And a kind of a bit of a fallacy. Something, by the way, I was on a totally different side of this camp not all that long ago, like a couple of years. And I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I just know my preference now. So I'm going to talk about the topic of income and investment, right? Now, I've invested in a bunch of different things over the years. I've got shares in other people's businesses, not like trading 212 shares, but like, I consult businesses and in return I get shares and all this kind of stuff, right? Different story. But I have shares in businesses. I have owned, operated, flipped, rented residential property. Only ever residential. I've no commercial experience. Never been my thing. Not saying it's wrong, but I'm invested there. Crypto, commodities, random investments. When I say random investments, like I've had friends message me like, hey bro, I've got this thing here, like you can make some money, like what we call a turn in Scotland. You guys might call it, I don't know, a quick flip or mini project or something. We need 10k, we can give you 14k back in a couple of weeks. And if obviously that sounds like absolutely insane, that kind of offer of investment, but if it's someone I trust and I know and I can look over, then like I've done stuff like that. So there's so many different ways I've invested over the past couple of years. I've had some stocks and shares though. I know I made the point to say not when I was talking there, but I have had stocks and shares and had great results, by the way. I think my shares portfolio the first year I had it was 60% self-traded. And I'm out of pretty much all of that stuff now, nearly all of that stuff. I still have an involvement with my property business in terms of existing client requirements that I still serve and still help to this day. It's not something I speak about much on my social media anymore. I don't run any ads for it, nothing. I'm focused on growing Growth Getters and our agency and our educational business, and that's my big focus in terms of how I use my social media. But the rest of that stuff, I have no crypto anymore, sold all of my crypto. I don't have any trading accounts with Trading 212 or anything anymore. And at least if I do have them, they're able to be logged in. They will be empty. I don't have any other investments or projects going on. I have my shareholdings and other businesses, which really are part of what I'm doing in my business. If you think of us like a really, really shit version of acquisition.com, like horrendously shit. Not because we're bad at what we do, but because we're not doing $100 million a month just now, or however much those guys will be doing. We're emulating a similar kind of model, but just on a much smaller playing field for now, as we go. Now, I quite quickly in my business journey found a primary income. You know, I was starting my first business out of like my mum and dad's house. My only qualifications was being a electrician, so I wasn't exactly prepared for entrepreneurship. Normally, I guess if you have the skills of like being an electrician or a plumber, your first venture into business is doing that as a self-employed person. That wasn't mine. I went straight into a totally different industry. Now, it was very difficult, that transition. I quit my job very, very quickly, went full time in business with not a huge amount of income security, which to me now at 27 years old, just about to turn 28, I kind of think, whoa, that was insane, but I done it anyway, so whatever. And I quite quickly found a primary income, and I'm going to tell you what I've done wrong over the past couple of years that has still made money, but I could have made a hell of a lot more, right? And I encourage you to take on my learnings from this. Now, I quickly found a primary income inside the property sector, and I was generally earning somewhere in the region of £10,000 a month, right? Now, I was spending way too much money and all that kind of ridiculous stuff that comes to making like your first little bit of money. And your biggest lifestyle change ever as an entrepreneur is going from like normal employee or nothing, however you want to start your benchmark, to £10,000 a month or $10,000. £10,000 is more, obviously, but that's like a massive jump between those two things. And that's generally when you kind of go a little bit crazy, like I did. And spending money and having fun and still working really hard, by the way, but having a considerable, whoa, I can't even speak English, a considerable amount of fun doing so, right? And that's what I did. Now, I was lucky in the sense that my business really leaned into a specific investment asset class. So I could buy and flip properties and do those kinds of things without it being a distraction to the core of my business, because that was what I did. I helped other people do it. I done it myself. I found opportunities for people. I raised money from people. Whatever it was, like my business was circled around that industry. Now, during periods like during COVID-19 and these different things, I went down a bunch of different rabbit holes, right? Now, off the top of my head, different things that I have owned in terms of investments, shares in Premier Oil, Tullow Oil PLC, XRP, Walton Chain, Goose Finance, you name like crap, meme coins, everything. Like I've done all that kind of stuff, right? And I would say I'm probably at break even, minus in the oil shares. I've made money there. The rest I'm at break even, maybe even a loss. Not 100% sure. But the biggest problem for me doing those things, not that I need to tell you the individual stories of each of those things. It was generally when something like a friend would phone me and say, oh mate, we're doing this crypto thing, big massive crypto boom between like 2019 and 2021 or 2020 or whatever it was. We're doing this thing and we've got these NFTs and we're buying these things and you need to get on this, you need to get on that. And I was just probably bored sitting at home during the lockdown and just being like, all right, okay. And we were still running a business during lockdown. Call me what you want, don't care. We were still running a business during lockdown. She was still making money, so I could go and I'll put £5,000-10,000 in this thing, or £6,000 in that. Or, like I'll try different things. So that's generally how these things came about. Not because it was super well researched or because we're spending a lot of time doing these things. I mean, even me and Paul, my business partner, Paul McFadden, big, well-known property guy, like we were like, for a small period of time, mad into crypto, and day trading cryptos on Binance and 75x leverage, doing the maddest shit ever, right? Now, during that period of time, I obviously got a degree of excitement and FOMO, right? And the good thing about that is that now I know my emotional response to feeling like I need to get involved in something, like I'm going to miss something, right? And that means I can kind of tailor how I act, knowing that I'm about to do something that's stupid, right? And now, you might say, Richard, getting into crypto is not stupid, it's an amazing thing to do, and that's fine. But something that I've come to realise is that, especially at my age, right now, you can disagree, but I don't think I'm wrong with this. If you know how to make money, you don't need to invest. You don't need investments, right? I'm not saying that investments are a bad idea, but they can be a net negative depending on your time input, right? So I know how to make money, regardless of whether it's a sexy way to make money, a not sexy way, an investment vehicle, a non-investment vehicle, selling a service, washing cars, jet washing driveways. Like, it does not matter across the board. Like, I know how to make money, and you might do too in something else. Now, what so many people do is, like, they have this skill in making money that they hone and build for so many years. And then when they have money saved within that business or from that thing, instead of thinking to themselves, oh, I have money saved here, I know how to make money, why don't I invest the money in the thing that I already know how to do to expand our team or to grow our organisation or to market better or to bolster our service or to grow that organisation, because I've clearly proven over the past couple of years that I know how to make money. What people do is they say, I've got money there, I do this thing, how do I remove this money from the industry or organisation that's making me the money to go and spend on another investment that I'm probably not that educated in, I don't have a track record of having any success, the people who are helping me do the thing probably don't have a clue what they're talking about, but I'm going to go and do it anyway because it's shiny and it's exciting and it's a new cool toy to play with, and you're probably bored with your business anyway, right? Now, here's the reality of business. It's not actually meant to be that exciting. If you're bored with your business or you wake up in the morning and you can't be bothered going to the office, like, to me, that's kind of natural for, like, at least 50% of the time. People post on, like, LinkedIn and Instagram and stuff, and they're always like, oh, if you wake up on a Monday with Monday blues, you're doing the wrong thing. You need to change career. You need to start a business. You need to do these things. Shut up, right? Like, that's my opinion. If you are going to work and you're unhappy about going to work, you get paid to go, right? You're not meant to enjoy it across the board. You might like what you do, but you're not paid to go and enjoy yourself. You're paid to do a bloody job, right? That's the reality of the situation. In the same way, business isn't meant to be easy and super enjoyable, right? So don't get caught up with all this nonsense of people saying, oh, you're not, like, super happy going and doing your business, well, you need to do this instead and do that instead. Shut the hell up. Just go and do it, right? If you know how to make money, just replicate that system. I spend money on this thing. I do the thing. I get money out. Easy answer. Spend more money on the thing. Do more of the thing. Get more people to help you do more of the thing. Get more money back out. It's like the most simplistic infinite money glitch in history, right? With a huge amount of caveats, but you understand what I'm talking about. But so many people see it in a totally different way, and they want to go and start investing in different things and spending money on different things. Now, in all of the situations where I have invested in other stuff outside of my primary interest and primary skill set, I have either not made enough money for it to be justifiable, I've lost money, or I have chronically lost time. Now, I can attribute my time to certain results inside of my business. So I can say that my time on a certain task is worth X, or a different task is worth Y, and whatever, right? I found, take crypto for example, right? My crypto portfolio was never huge. It was never like a proper monster of a portfolio, put it that way, right? If I'd kept what I had previously, I would have over 100k, but less than 250, right? So nothing huge. For some people, life-changing, right? But in terms of what we're doing and the size of our business now, it's not massive. Would I love to have it? Absolutely, right? Now, when I look at the time and how that industry, for example, consumed me and consumed my time, it was an absolute net loss. Like a huge net loss. Because I spent so much time, so much of my resources, so much of my effort, not getting any better, not researching, not learning, just looking at the bloody thing, right? Like, I would have my phone and I'd just be like, huh, all day. Oh, it's went up £100 in the group chat. Oh, it's went up £100. Like, just watching that stuff. It was such a chronic distraction for me. And I can tell you right now in my life how much I value not being distracted, right? And value being able to do deep work. Now, this room that I'm sitting in right now, there's got a desk here, 2 chairs, a desk there, and 2 chairs. That's used now in our office as like a breakout room, emergency meeting room. You can book it out. We've got a little booking system that people can use to have private meetings with one another and all that kind of stuff. This used to be my private office, right? This is, well, you've seen me in videos potentially before. If you're watching this, it won't make much sense. Sorry, if you're listening to this, it won't make much sense. But this is my private office that I had for a long time. So I could lock the door, shut the blinds, and not listen to anyone. But I found that doing that, I wasn't being as good a leader as I could have been. And our results were showing that we weren't progressing as fast as I wanted to. So I made the choice to move myself in with my team. Now, we run like a light system. We all have lights on our desk. If your light's on red, you're not allowed to speak to the person because they're doing deep work. Or even if someone's light's on red because they want to watch YouTube undisturbed with their lunch, if it's red, you don't speak to them, right? So we have this light system. But even then, with my AirPods on noise cancelling, it's just not quite good enough, right? So I have now bought construction ear defenders. Like 33 decibel noise cancelling ear defenders, so I can put them on with my AirPods inside, listen to my music, and get all of my stuff without being interrupted. That's how much I value that. Phone on grayscale, phone on do not disturb, or that the kind of lockdown mode thing with only certain apps open are allowed to be open, like WhatsApp. WhatsApp's also on my iMac, so I can use it there because that's how I communicate with people. I don't send many emails. I do everything on WhatsApp. That's like my ideal setup. So something like crypto, for example, dragged me away from that. Like, it really dragged me away from that. Now, I have a particular skill set that's really diverse. I had a property business, but the success of my property business was based off the fact that I spent so much time learning how to market online and how to run ads and how to build a following. And yeah, I've not got a huge following. I've had some social media accounts banned and stuff like. In the total of my life, I've maybe had 150,000 followers across like all my different platforms, which has been maybe a little bit less actually, which has been really good. So I learned all that stuff, and that's why that business was successful. It wasn't because I was like way better than anyone else. It was just because I was better at marketing myself online. And those skills I've carried on now and can carry on into loads of different industries. So I could, when presented with an opportunity, say with like a residential property, I have the skills and the knowledge and the circle that I could go and still flip that house and it would still be an okay use of my money. But realistically, if you sat me down right now and went, Richard, take 50k from the business and go and flip this house with 50k, even if it was 100% return, got me 50k back, or use that 50k on ads and developing the product and becoming better at what you actually do, I would keep my 50k in the company. And I would do that. I would spend it in the company, invest it in the company, but I would make more money there. And I'm coming now to the belief that, and this doesn't go for people who have property businesses, I'm talking about people who have made money or have a skill at making money or have another business who are looking to invest in other things, right? So if you want to start a property business and make money through property, I've done that exact thing. Like, I think that's one of the best business models you can do, right? So that's not who I'm talking to right now. You will, by proxy of doing your business, accumulate investments in that asset class because that's your business, right? Same way if you were a jeweler, you're going to have gold and diamonds and hard assets like that, right? That's totally normal. But I'm now of this opinion that I don't care about investing in anything at the moment, minus other businesses, because I have a team there that can make an instant impact, right? Me, with my skill set, with the ad managers we have, with our sales teams, with our media guys, copywriters, our overseas team, not even including them in that, like with our overseas team, we can bring someone's business in and just put our team to task on them and revolutionise the digital marketing and all these things and have a great result straight away. So that's within my skill set. It doesn't take too much of my time, right? And it's a good value exchange for everyone. We get these businesses incredible results. I get shares in those businesses. It makes me money. Nice, right? Happy. And it takes up very little of my time. And very little of my concentration, doesn't drag me off different tasks because these are those people's businesses. We just help them run parts of those organisations really well. Now, my opinion is that I am not going to invest in anything for probably the next few years until our organisation, for total transparency, we are, like this month, we're on the 16th, right? 16th today. From the start of this month until now, we've done around about £105,000 of revenue, right? And we've paid some different things on that, like we're doing a big holiday trip with some of the clients and stuff. But we do every single month somewhere between 100 and 200k. And that is going to scale over the next couple of months. We've introduced a whole bunch of new things. I reckon by the end of this year, it's going to be 200, 250 per month is what we do, right? So we're still a small business, but we're also a big business in some ways, right? Like that's where we're at. The reason I'm saying that is not to be like, some people might think that's crazy. Some people might think, oh my goodness, Richard, I thought that like the Growth Getters Yes Academy business was way bigger than that. That's not including anything I get from other shareholdings I have, whatever, right? But the reason I say that is to make a benchmark point. Many people would look at that and go, wow, 100, 200k a month and projecting 250 plus by the end of the year. That's really awesome. You can buy a flat every month. You can buy like a new car every month, like whatever. Like people will see it that way, forgetting that there's costs to come off and stuff. But I get the logic. My opinion is that I am not going to invest in anything again until just that business, never mind anything else, is at $1 million plus a month, which is probably, being realistic, 3 years away, 2 years away, 3 years away. 3. I think that's realistic to me. You might be thinking, Richard, you're an absolute nutcase. And it might prove that it takes 9 years or 10 years. I don't know, right? But I'm not going anywhere, so it doesn't matter. Unless I die, obviously. But that's when I would think about even investing slightly. Because all my time is best used in my primary skill, my primary business. Because I've worked out how to make money. So I already know how to make money. Why would I not just continue doing the thing that I know how to do to make the money, as opposed to doing the thing, spending years building those relationships, the Rolodex of contacts, the skills, the team, the office, the cameras, the assets, all that kind of stuff, the investing in my own skill set, to then take the money, the rewards I've reaped from that, to go and invest in bloody crypto or some buy bars of gold or stuff I don't know about. Right? That's ultimately going to mean I have to do more time researching and take my eye off the ball of the main thing and look at the other thing, and then the main thing suffers. The thing that I spent so long learning how to make money with, right? What I'm trying to do here just now is say, if you're in a business and you have a way of generating like 50k plus a month or around that point, maybe even like 25k, your mission shouldn't be, I make 25k a month, how do I invest in other things? Your mission should be, oh my goodness, I've found a way to make 25k a month. How crazy is that? So many people don't get to do that. How do I now get that to 50? How do I get it to hundreds? It shouldn't be, I've got 25k a month, what do I invest in now to then eventually not do the thing that makes you 25k? And plainly, I don't really care if you don't like the thing that makes you 25k. Like if you think that's crap and you really don't want to do it, boo-hoo, right? But why do we want to jump away from the thing? Why do we want to leave the thing that makes us the money to go and do something else to make us the money and start again in that thing with less confidence, less skills, less people, less track record, less team? Why don't we just do more of the thing? Why don't we just take the thing and make it better and do more of it? You're really good at selling sandwiches and you sell 5 different sandwiches and you sell out every single day. Maybe buy more sandwich stuff. Instead of thinking we're selling out sandwiches, we're making money from the sandwiches, let's go and start a pizza shop. Just sell more sandwiches because you know how to make the sandwich. People like the sandwiches and you've got all the contacts set up and the deliveries set up for the sandwiches and the team prepped on how to do the sandwiches. You don't do pizzas, you don't know pizzas. Take the money from the sandwiches and make more sandwiches. Am I insane for thinking this? Have I lost my mind? Because investing's so sexy, right? Oh yeah, I've got this and I've got 5 properties and I've got 100k in crypto and I've got this, that, the next thing. Imagine you just focused on like one thing. Like most people, if they have a portfolio of stuff or investments, it's like £1 million. They're going to have like one 700k thing, then like a couple of 50, 70, 90s. Like, what if you just focused on the one thing, on the 700k thing? What would happen? Would it be a worse result? No. Would it be a better result? I think so. So, instead of not building the organisation that's made you the money, use the money to build the organisation. Because once you know how to make money, you don't need to invest, at least not for a significant amount of time. Like if I'm able to sell an aspect of my business, I'm not in any place to at the moment, but say one of the businesses I have a shareholding in, right? If I'm able to sell part of one of my shareholdings in the next couple of years for £1 million, 4 million, 5 million, whatever, right? Potentially, I would maybe take that money and go and invest it in something, because I've got the primary thing that's going to be making me a couple £100,000 a month, right? Or doing a couple £100,000 a month in revenue that can then pay me whatever, and the business can have its own treasury and build its own investments, and cool, right? I would maybe take the money I got from selling that thing, because it's like bonus income. We don't take dividendable income, really. We just wait for it to sell at some point, or that's how we get a distribution. Then I would maybe take that and go, bonus money, invest. Go and just buy a bunch of properties, right? With that. And then let my thing run. And maybe take some money and put it into the thing as well. But I wouldn't think, oh, I've got money now. What new thing can I learn to put this money at risk, ultimately, because it's not my main skill set, to do something else to make more? You already know how to make the money. You have a blueprint. Don't take the money out and spend it on something else. Get a new member of staff. Get 2 new members of staff. Upgrade your office. Upgrade your offering. Put a new van on the roads. Run more ads. You know how to do that. You've proven that you've done it. That's the hard part. You've taken the ball in the other half and you're a goalkeeper. And you've taken it past the other team's strikers, then the midfielders. You've taken it past the defenders. You're now a goalkeeper, one-on-one with the opposition's goalkeeper. You fake one way, you fake the other way, you take the ball past the goalkeeper, and you are now standing in front of an open goal. You've done the hardest thing ever. A goalkeeper taking the ball from one end of the pitch to the other, skillfully beating every single player to get there. You've done the hardest part, now you're faced with an open goal, and you sky it over the crossbar. That's what you're doing in this situation. You've done the hardest bit, which is building a bloody business and making money and finding out how to make money and having a way to consistently make money. You've done all that hard part, and instead of just doing the tapping and building that organisation and making it better, you go and do something else. Am I crazy? You guys tell me. Am I crazy? Maybe. I don't think I'm crazy. Do the thing that makes you money and do more of the thing and put more of your money from the thing back into the thing. It's the thing's money. The thing bloody made it, right? Let me know if you think I'm wrong here. I'm not saying you shouldn't be investing. If you are investing, I'm not saying you're doing a bad thing, right? It's better than spending it all, right? But I think your money's better used in the organisation. That's my opinion now, and that took many years of changing. But that is what I think. I think the money is better used in the organisation, because you've proven that you know how to make money with that. And that's where you should focus your investment. Investing back into the organisation that ultimately pays you and gave you the freedom to think about investing in the first place. I don't think that's a mad concept. If you've enjoyed this episode, click like, subscribe, follow, whatever the metrics are on the platform that you're using. I don't use Spotify podcasts really, or I've never even had Apple Podcasts. On YouTube, at least you see a video. I understand how that works, so you can subscribe if you enjoyed it. But just let me know if there's a comment feature down below, like if this is YouTube or whatever. Just let me know what you actually think on this. You think I'm wrong? Do you disagree? Always happy to look at other people's opinions. Thank you so much for listening. I'll catch up with you very soon. Cheers.